doing? I'm so confused as to what you guys are talking about. That chat group vibe energy today, doesn't it? So what we're doing, I did not know that word is on the banned list. Okay. What we're doing is, first off, we are going ahead and we're putting an extra supporting art. I've done this in the wrong block. We're supposed to be doing it in calcite and bringing it over so it connects with the other calcite. And I'm also no, this is the right block at the right angle, and then we'll be putting some of this detail underneath it. Following that, we'll be putting the calcite. yeah, and we'll be mimicking this. Yeah. So we had about half a box of scaffolding. I had to fill up the rest of the box to do this. Also, yesterday, I went and built Iron Exo4's tree farm, that thing over there. Except I think it's one of those things that's directional, so you gotta make it north, south, east, west orientated, so that it's in the right orientation. But I'm pretty sure I've got it facing the wrong east-west orientation, so occasionally it blows up the dirt block that the tree's supposed to be on, which it is not supposed to do, because I have not been able to farm enough birch. It's the word that we need. But with this we have had enough time to farm enough birch for what we need to do. Butter? Why do we need to say butter? Oh, the claw? Oh, yeah, it does have a vague similarity to a claw machine, I suppose. But basically, you put a sapling on top of a dirt block, on top of that obsidian bit, then it gets all exploded, and it's great. We get so many saplings. That one's empty. And so much stuff. I remember most of the people that come through here, even if there's like a couple of months between who comes through. I'm pretty good with names that are written down, but if people tell me their names, then it doesn't work very well. Also, it really helps when people have profile pics, because I can remember those pretty well. So, yeah. Like, I really appreciate the fact that doing it this way, I'm actually able to remember who talked and who doesn't, and it feels like I'm actually succeeding at socializing for once. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. To be perfectly honest, I looked at when I see people's profile pics, I'm like, okay, who's this? And because it's so small, it's tinier than my pinky nail. So it's like, oh yeah, that's the Winter Soldier. Oh yeah, that's a green bunny. Oh yeah, that's a black blob. And probably is not any of these things. And it's interesting to me because I know profile picture. It doesn't. It's a personal thing to choose a profile picture. Yeah, like VTuber models. It took forever for me to settle on a design, and I went through a whole bunch of designs for my VTuber model because it wasn't quite the exact fit. And it's like, well, I suppose it's sort of like how you decide to show yourself off on the internet. Because as far as I'm concerned, the internet is one of those places where your physical appearance is quite different than your yeah, that's probably on your end, Adele. Adele. Your physical appearance on the internet is something that you can completely choose. Like whether you want to be an anime character or a bunny or a Winter Soldier or anything like that, that's completely up to you, and I think that's really cool. Hi, Simona, welcome back. I think we were about here. It's that cat. There it is. Okay. So we should have, if we back off. Yeah. So that joins up, and then if we go ahead and we get the next bit being the calcite equivalent, I think that should be good. No! What's even worse? The inside of my mouth isn't blue. It's terrible. I've tried eating all the blue M&Ms all at once. It didn't work. I only got my tongue blue. It was terrible. I also ended up with most terrible sugar high and then sugar crash. 10 out of 10. Don't recommend eating like a kilo of M&Ms all at once. Well, actually it was like 500 grams of chocolate all at once, but same effect. Still, don't recommend it. Worst sugar crash ever. Ring pops. Oh, I'll have to try it. I mean, that'll probably stain my teeth. And then I'll probably have to brush my teeth to get my teeth back to white. Or wait, no, I think you can get teeth paint. So if I paint my teeth after I have the ring pop, then I will have white teeth with well, interestingly enough, with chlorine, not chlorine, what's it called again? With water. Water is usually blue because of the fact that it's refracting the sky. Reflecting. So basically, you're only getting discount blue. And that is not a good. Also, safety disclaimer, drinking chlorine is not a good idea. That's pretty safely to say up there on the bad ideas list. Oh, goodbye. We will probably pick you up later, but that being said. Huh? Oh. Wait, I thought I fixed that. Okay, I need to look at the spam on Nightbot. Like every time I think I've fixed Nightbot, Nightbot's just like, bam, there's something else wrong with me. And I'm just like, why? Yeah, because as far as I understand it, the things that influence the color of the ocean is plankton, algae, salt, and of course pollutants. And you can get different colors of the ocean depending on where you're at. And it can lead to some really wild color changes. Also, the fact that plankton can actually look some really wild colors. Yeah, I think the Dead Sea's like red or something. And then when in some places in the tropics, I think when the plankton swarms, let me remember this, it's been quite a while. I think it turns pink or something like that. Yeah, it's quite fascinating. Also, some of the dark grey. Oh, I am completely wrong then. Yes, I am the Dead Sea. Fear me. Yeah, that is mildly terrifying. I don't think I'd mess with that either. I think if I ran into anyone in PvP rocking that username, I'd be like, I think I'm just gonna walk that way, leave it be, and let's not talk about it. Yeah? That would be my option. And really hope that they're not the type of person that was like, yeah, time to heck out of the lobby. Maybe tone down the edge, Adele. So, basically, the general idea is... Oh, there are actually banned Minecraft usernames. And especially after this new wave of EULA changes, I would say that kind of stuff is in the no-no zone on things that can and cannot be used. Most likely. So I would safely assume stuff like divisive historical political figures are in categories where people are not wanting to be seeing them. Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking we'll come back to whatever we're doing with that later, because that's sort of on the iffy bit, but I'm sure we'll figure out something. But for now, we need to attack this with calcite. Yeah, basically recently there was a whole change in rulings on skins, on a few other things that basically says skins that can be interpreted as nude, skins and offensive usernames can be reported. at least in multiplayer. But yeah, you know, it's kind of like, well, there aren't a huge amount of servers that I know of, or at least participate in close by, that use chat reporting a huge amount. So it's got a question on that. Yeah. Do Bedrock mobile players even have a skin editor? Or the ability to make their own skins? Because I wouldn't think they would. Okay, so it's one up. Okay. 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 2, 1, 2. I should have gotten high. Okay, so they must either be not going to bother, or they're not super worried about it. Like, the way I see it, it's not going to probably be something that's going to be a big thing long term, because basically when Minecraft was first created, it was an indie company. It was a small indie thing, right? And they didn't actually need to worry about the face of the company super big, right? And that's something that you don't really need to worry about when you're small and don't intend to be a huge thing. And you can go ahead and be big, not big, you can go and run your mouth and do whatever, because to quote Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility, and when you are a big huge company, you have large influence over a lot of things. And I think that's the point that Mojang are at, is the fact that they're sort of acknowledging the fact that, yeah, we are having a direct influence over a lot of children's lives, because that's the age range that the game is made for. And they're like, okay, well, yeah, exactly. And while I think that having it written out and codified is well, I have a lot of free times on my hand to think. Yeah, this is about right. Well, it's good to have it codified. Minecraft did it, Mojang did it in a way that made it very accessible for their intended audience to actually understand, which made it confusing, a bit more confusing for understanding legalities and things like that, which, because it left room for interpretation. And this is probably old news for a lot of people, and maybe I'm just airing my thoughts. But I think overall it's probably a good thing, because yeah, I suppose. I just sit in the corner and build, really. Because, like, as far as I'm concerned, it's kind of a good thing because it also helps server owners in the long term. Pretty true. Memes are good. I like memes. In general, as long as, like, it's not super sweary or anything NSFW or anything like that, because I don't think that's super kosher. Memes are fun. Memes are mischief, and it helps me keep in touch with the modern generations. Like, there's actually a quote by Mark Twain. If you read the news, you're misinformed. If you don't read the news, you're uninformed. However, I think memes are one of the things that sort of bypass that. Because what happens is with memes, everyone's sort of chipping in their own personal anecdotes and opinions on a matter. And you get, by reading a whole bunch of memes on a matter, you end up slowly forming your own opinions through the memes. And so it's like, congratulations, you're suddenly knowing so much about this one niche topic just through memes. And it's like, what? Okay, we go like this. Oh, cool. Okay, so now we've got this very much odd angled bridge, and I was really worried that for a while that this would be uneven and look weirdly uneven. We've still got to add that detail to that side, but that's okay. We will work with that because I don't really want to do the full pillar yet. And I want to add that bit to over there because one of the things I want to do is on this bit here through there is actually adding supports, but I think we can hold that off until we've added this bit. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, like I looked at the bridge and I'm like, considering this goes up and then all of that, we can either have it as a beautiful arch or we can do a deliberate non-mirrored bridge and just worry about one section of mirroring being the two sides of the bridge going this way rather than going this way and this way. I was like, I want to do 4 ways of mirroring? Screw that! No. Actually, I think sand is very, very useful for that sort of stuff because you can use it for marking out where from the top of something to the bottom of something. So if I want to know the exact location of where this is, perhaps, I can go like this, drop it down, and be like, oh yeah, that's where it is. It's perfect. That's what I use sand for. Sand is the best. Yeah. Oh, that is true. String. String's just like, yeah. I see you, Anvil. I watch me. Although the fact that you have to put 3 1 by 1 meter cubes Hey, don't diss the lurkers. We love the lurkers. The lurkers are the best. We appreciate the lurkers. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Yeah, like it's totally fine to watch a stream and just chill. Because what happens is, me personally, there are some streams where I prefer to just sit and chill and watch. Yeah? It's not on them to perform or create fun for you. It's not their job. It's mine. So don't try and make them. It's not them. Do. Hey, Ninja. Oh, I hope it's something good. I think I've messed this up. Okay, I think we'll eventually replace this with something else, this calcite. Otherwise, that looks a little bit funky to me. Might replace it with something other than calcite and other than birch. And it should be good. Yeah, I'm not sure where that scaffolding. Ah! Oh my goodness, I don't know what just happened there. Just fell out of this. But what just happened? I don't understand. I don't know. No, I still don't understand. It's just like, no. The work is not working. It's failed to work. Ooh. The wholesomest food. Plus, I mean, cinnamon rolls when made at home always taste so much better. I think I've had homemade cinnamon rolls all of once. And they were amazing. Even though the bakery makes them fresh every day. Well, one of the bakeries actually made them. Another one was just like, yeah, we'll make them occasionally. But it's only sometimes. Okay, yep, this is the... Wait, did we? 1, 2, okay. How did we get here? Aha. I think... Oh no! Oh no! Are they the kind of one where you can actually like peek in the oven and check? Or are they one of the kinds of ones where it's... one where you can go and sort of just... eyeball it from the door and hope for the best. There's no burning smell. Oh, that's good. That's really good. I hope they don't burn. Nothing fell. No creepers. This is good. Also, we have a regeneration and a resistance going on the beacon because... Well, the beacon was there because I was removing some of the terracotta and I was like, you know what? May as well. Oh, I am so grateful that I have a snack before stream. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure I'd be joining chat and being hungry because that sounds so good. Like, the only thing I have access to me is licorice, and that is not a snack food. That is a lolly. I mean, it's good licorice, but it's not fair. Oh my goodness. Okay, that one works. Now I think we come in with everything else and we should be good. Oh, black licorice. Although I am a sucker for good red licorice. But unfortunately, good red licorice is super hard to find. Like, it's either that horribly waxy and artificially sweet, or it's just bland. And it's horrible. There's definitely... Yeah, there's definitely specific brands of licorice that I think are better than others. And some that are just like... It's very, very traditional. And it just doesn't taste that great. Like, when was this? Like, they changed their flavoring, I think, mid-2000s, and it got like much more decent. Although I'd probably there's more flavors than red or black. I've only ever seen red or black in New Zealand. Okay, this deserves investigating. What other kind of flavors are there? I must know. This is... Wait, is it like grape or apple or that sort of thing? Like, I've seen sherbet-filled things that claim it's licorice, but when you bite into it, it's basically jelly. And those... Like, I don't think I could call that licorice. It was very... an enlightening experience. There we go. It was an enlightening experience, and it was not what I was expecting. Oh, wow. So the red one is a raspberry flavor usually, although I've occasionally seen a strawberry flavor. Welcome, Jensen. How you going? And the best raspberry flavor I've found has been at Dairies, which is like a corner store. I think is the best way to describe a dairy. Like, it's a place where you get lollies and the milk and an ice cream and that sort of place. Oh, that's good to hear, Jensen. We're building the bridge I don't think you've seen it. And basically, with the corner store dairy, they have a branded licorice where the raspberry, it actually tastes kind of like raspberry. It's rather nice. But I've never known what brand of licorice it is, and it's getting really hard to find nowadays, and I'm really disappointed. Because it's like a piece of my childhood that's slowly disappearing. And I'll be really sad when it's gone. Yeah, like it's got that sweetness and that tartness to it, and it's just like, oh, it's so fresh. And if you find it in winter, it tastes like summer. It's great. Let's grab the frog lights. Did we grab the frog lights? No, we did not. I think it'd be that and pineapple lumps would be my favorite things for lollies. And pineapple lumps, you guys will probably think are a bit weird. They are a pineapple center that's chewy. Actually, you know what? This is a different side. We can make this very obviously different. Where, yeah, the inside's chewy. I don't think I've ever seen Reese's cups. I've heard those described. They're like peanut things, right? Chocolate covered peanuts? Am I onto it? They're chocolate covered peanuts. Or chocolate covered peanut butter. Did I get it? I yes! I spent too much time on the internet. I think this covers being too much time on the internet because I actually know what this niche food is. Oh. It's okay, I don't blame you. The texture of peanut butter is pretty... Ugh. It sticks to the mouth in all sorts of weird ways. And like you end up licking the roof of your mouth for so long because it's just stuck there. But the idea of it sounds really cool. That sounds uniquely terrible. But I guess it's to each their own because there's different foods in different parts of the world where people are like, yeah, this is amazing. And other people are like, yeah, this is absolutely terrible. And I think having that diversity is really great. Because you can go and you can try new things and be like, wow, I never knew I liked. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, having comfort food like that is always good. Yeah, like the food that helps me is noodles. I like having noodles with an egg. Like that is a happy food for me. I always make sure I've got like noodles in the house so I can cook up some noodles when like it's just not feeling like a good day. What are they called? It's an, I think it's an Indian brand or something. Mega? Not entirely sure. Indomie? Yeah, it's a cup noodle type brand. And it's... Yeah, just having something that's there and available where you don't really have to think sometimes is really useful. Okay, I think once we decorate the sandstone, we should be good. And I think what we'll do is we'll get some regular sandstone and we'll dot it in through, along with possibly some birch, just to get some extra shadow. Personally think that cup noodles that don't have dried veggies in them are more superior than the ones that have dried veggies in them, because if you have the ones that have dried veggies in them, sometimes the dried veggies come out all powdery and then it's like what is on my tongue? And that's not so great, because you can actually go ahead and add fresh veggies to it and it makes a really good wholesome meal. And you can also go and add a protein of your choice, whether it's mushrooms or an egg or maybe bacon, and that actually rounds out the meal. So you have your carbohydrates, you have your veggies and all sorts of things like that. Oh, I don't think we can get that brand here. And yeah, so that's a way to actually make your noodles better. That being said, I'm not usually a... Ooh. Ah. Yeah, well, I think when it comes down to doing noodle sachets and stuff like that, I try to find noodles and prepackaged foods. Let's go prepackaged foods in general. If there's ick foods that you don't like, then look for stuff that doesn't have that first, and then try and branch out. If you're looking for something new, branching out and trying something new that doesn't have the ick food in it. Because if it has the gross food, then you won't eat it, right? Or in theory, most likely you won't eat it. So if you try something without the yuck food in it first, then you'll get a hang of whether you like the brand or not. Yeah, I feel that. Like, there are some veggies and stuff that are just... The texture and stuff are just... It's just not it. And it just... In the mouth, it's not a vibe. Oh, well, you can swap out eggs and stuff for things like bacon or your cheese. Although, on a personal level, I don't think I could go cheese and noodles. That doesn't sound right in my brain, but that's something that could work if you wanted something like that. Do I have any of that? No, I do not. And as for veggies, well, I think it's more of a work around you. Like, if there are some veggies you like, or there aren't veggies you like, then it's a take it or leave it situation, whether you want the veggies or you don't want the veggies. Wait, how did we manage to pop through the scaffolding before? Never mind. I was really hoping we'd be able to just zip through the scaffolding. I should have known better. Actually, you're right. It would be somewhat similar to mac and cheese, wouldn't it? Ooh. That sounds really like a cheap mac and... Good question. Yeah, it'd be a veggie. Yeah, it would be a veggie. And it's okay to have exceptions. Like, you can say, I don't like vegetables, but I don't mind cabbage. Like, for instance, I personally like fruit, but I don't like... Oh, what is it called? Ah, lemons. Yeah, I see that combination. And stuff like that, I think, is really good because it lets you think about it and be like, yeah, I have this boundary, but I don't have that boundary on what I'm willing to eat, and also various other things, but still. Okay. So now we got a bit of a shadow going on. Oh yeah, that looks good. I'm there for that. Oh my goodness. We're just creating this whole scaffolding monster. On one hand, it'll be so cool when it comes down. On the other hand, that is so much scaffolding. I'm gonna need... By the end of this, we're going to have so many boxes of scaffolding, it's not going to be funny. Boop. Yeah, we're going to need, like, probably... this is probably going to take up most, I think, of the shulker box, I think. So it does make me worry for future endeavors. Maybe we'll end up with a couple of shulker boxes just full of scaffolding, which is going to be interesting. Because it's just like, well, how much more until we just run out of space? Just scaffold. Farewell. We will miss you. Be eaten by fish. Like, how long until we get just gonskis? And no more. Is there an end to the scaffolding monster? Or does it just expand? I don't know the limits to this. Is there limits? These are the questions that are burning in my mind and I don't know the answers. He said it's kind of like I don't think there needs to really be answers. Move one of those there. Also, I've kind of been, after doing the fireworks show and all the stuff leading up to it, all the redstone, it took a lot of long days for it, in part because I didn't plan for it. Like I was not particularly well planned out for it. So my time management there was not great, but it really did impress upon me because with my batteries not being the most amazing and being a bit smaller than everyone else's, I ended up a little bit more tired than I expected I'd be. So I ended up realizing the fact that, well, basically by the time 2000 days comes around, if the celebration isn't prepared by then, I'm just going to have to delay the celebration, because otherwise I'm going to be yeah, it is one of the most time-consuming skills to learn, and the only reason I got it done was because I was quite literally had my hand held all the way through that build with a friend of mine, Shade, and I spent the next few days on the couch basically asleep. So I don't think I'm going to be being that enthusiastic with pulling those longer days trying to get a build done again. There's something I say to my D&D group on a regular basis, which is your health and real life come first. And I think in this case, it's very, very applicable. Because even though this is technically real life, I'm streaming to you guys and doing all of that. The first part of that comes into play on, yeah, health is kind of important for this. And it's like, oh, bugger. That being said, I kind of want to continue learning the redstone and doing all of that, so I think what we'll do is we will space out the redstone and do all of that and maybe integrate it into the building of the building and just do little circuits here and there, like kind of we've been doing in the village, and hopefully have things sort of happen. Maybe have some battlements that are primed to fire fireworks and things like that. I think would be good. Yeah, I'm really excited because one of the things I want to do with this build is have it so that basically something like this. Have it so that basically let's get, oh yes, we have scaffolding. here, this being the main entrance wall. And then from here, we have the choice of going both up and down. So this is like the mid-level of what's happening. And if we go down, we go into cellars and basements, and we've still got levels going downwards. Which is one of the reasons why I'm starting to flatten things. Wait. We have a thunderstorm going on. That was probably a bad idea. Wait. Oh, botherations. So basically, in doing that, I think that we can have something amazing. Also, I want... We're not adopting a creeper. We cannot adopt a creeper. We just can't. And I also want to have a concentration of ancient structures here, so that it makes it so that that was the reason this place was chosen to have. Thank you. We cannot adopt a creeper. Creepers are not on the adoption list. So actually rain? No, we're not going to have rain in areas. So the ancient spires of ruins are the reason why this place was chosen as a build site. And I think it's got to be really cool. But it also means that all of these spires here, they have to go. Gonskis. Yeah, but the castle itself is not going to be ruined. They're just taking advantage of the ruins that already exist and reusing them and recycling them. Because if a tree is not destroying a ruin that's been there for so long, or if a tree that big is not managing to break something down, then it's pretty strong. Because trees are extraordinarily good at breaking down rocks and things like that. Okay, I think we've got the main parts of this. Yes! Strong big technology. Which is the important part. So it would be tactically sound to take a part in that technology. We missed. Okay, now we need to go out. Yes, okay. And like, that is the general idea for the castle. It's going to be a mixture between old and new. And funnily enough, the old stuff is going to be the more fancifully designed stuff. It's gonna be the stuff that's like, oh yes, we are fancy, we are posh. Yes, very much so. And like, I think having that mixture of design aesthetic in a build is gonna be really fun to play around with. I'm really curious to see where it goes. Good night. Thanks for being here. Okay. we can consider the underside of the bridge mostly done for now. If we just pop up onto the beacon for now. So there's a couple of things I kind of want to do. One of them is to add supports going upward, but I kind of want to do supports going upward onto the platform of the bridge and give it a bit more shape. To do that, I think we need to rework the shape of the platform of the bridge first. So we can get rid of our scaffolding. One moment, I'm just going to Google what the Golden Gate Bridge looks like. Golden Gate Bridge. Like, I have a vague idea of the shape of it, but I haven't really super looked at it. No, not that triangular structure, more like adding claw-like designs to it. So something, a quick and dirty example would be adding something like this. So it's just something that's supporting out like that, except not this, and something a little bit more in line with color scheme and stuff like that. If that makes sense. So probably more orange. So it's bringing the orange down into there. Oop. And I think we can do that while we're actually replacing everything else. Oh, cool. So we shouldn't have need for the scaffolding. Although one thing we need to watch out for when we're actually in this ravine? No, river. Is the ridiculous amount of drowned that are in this place. Because there's a few areas where drowned spawn in this place, and it can get quite trident happy sometimes. You're just swimming around and then bam, trident. And you're like, oh boy, here we go again. They very much are dying to meet me. It's quite an interesting time of it. Hopefully. This should be it. Okay. We grab everything? No, we did not. And I think eventually we'll get rid of that lump of dirt there that the beacon's on. But I think for now it can stay. should be fine. Okay. Oh! I have miscounted all the scaffolding. Never mind. Again, there is those two bits, but they can stay there for now. We can safely ignore them for now. We should be fine. And I know that there's some scaffolding in there somewhere, but that's a later problem. Oh, wow. I don't know whether to say congratulations or be concerned. But I'm thinking, oh, actually, instead of doing it this way and ripping up the entire bridge, I think the only stuff that we really need to rip up is these points here where we connect with the bridge. Because if we rip up those and the one before it, yeah, I think there's some in the water. And that's fine. Then we'll be able to go ahead and add the arch to there. And that should work. Aha! That's sneaky! Because if we do that, then we should be able to have everything sorted out in a pretty good manner. I'm thinking that we go through with some slabs. No, that won't work. Okay. Let's think this out. If we go down here and we do a little bit of a testeroo. So we have our platform. We need more blocks. Okay. So, I'm thinking. Ooh. Stairs and slabs. Yeah, that might. Yeah, that might work. Oh my goodness, that bridge looks amazing! Like, just seeing it from far off, it's like, bam! Oh. I'm sorry, Mario, the princess is in another castle! The castle isn't here! Wait, no! The princess stole the castle! Okay, we have a whole bunch of these. And a whole bunch of these. Okay. So my initial thought is we go with one of these, one of those. And like that. And then we have the going down like that. Okay. I kind of like it, but I think it would look better in birch. Or at least another block. Like, I was initially against doing it in birch because it would stand out, but seeing it in practice, I think it would look good. Oh, I forgot you could get it in. I forgot you could do this in sandstone. Let's just try it in sandstone first. I think it might look better in sandstone. 1, 2. Okay, I think we might be onto something with this. We could also stick a frog light here. I think that would be good. Or even if we push this out one more. The frog light there. That there. And then that there. I like that. That. Let's do that. Yeah. Yeah. We're doing that. Okay. Do. Roguelike. Basically, what we'll make sure is that all of these are going to be smoothed out so that it's not going to be a problem for actually getting up anywhere. Oh. You know, measuring distances would have helped. Okay. We will still follow the general design. And then... Yes! I'm there for that. That looks good. Because what I want to do is on the edges add a railing. So that last block is going to disappear. So it should be good. 3. Whoop. I would almost think I've never heard of holding down shift. Like sometimes I'm starting to wonder if one day my elytra will run out and then I just won't think to open it and I will just fall to the end of this world and that will be it. Like, if that's the way it will go, it will be horribly ironic. I'm not sure how I will feel about it. Like, on one hand, it will be kind of funny, but on the other hand, thanks, Louise. Okay. Now we should be getting into this mischief territory where... Yes, okay, now it should be low light. One of those, then one of those, yep. It's also really interesting want to say how the influence of social media and no, it has completely slipped my mind. Yeah, there was going to be this interesting thought babble, but it has disappeared. And I shall just have to smile, wave, and nod. Oh well. We need more stairs. Okay, I think it was something to do with movies. Because, I've been seeing some of the trailers, not trailers, interviews with the cast for Snow White, and it was very interesting seeing how the cast were holding themselves and acting compared to older interviews from a few years ago. Not those actors specifically, but actors from other movies, and the different ways of using professionalism. And it's like, well, that's a thing. I wonder what the angle is here, and I can see this as a whole take, like a single take that was done, unless someone decided to go ahead with AI technology and add rewords, like go ahead and completely redub them, which I doubt. I don't think there's much point to that. And also, it seems a bit ridiculous to do that. Also, at the moment with AI voices, like, it seems a little bit flat when you hear those. Or at least it usually does, so I don't know. But to go ahead and have what is essentially bashing the bashing the history of what you're doing. Just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right to me. Or maybe that's just me. If you're chosen and you're for that exact reason, and then that's your way of promoting it, that seems weird. Or maybe I'm just not up with it enough yet. But maybe I just need to investigate the internet more. But I think if I need to investigate the internet more to find out what's going on with that, I'm not sure I want to. I think I'd rather be ignorant on that one. seems a bit sad. Okay, there we go. We have all of those in place. And they should, most of those have lights. And yeah, that gives us some support. It looks like there's a thing going through. I think at some points we might come through with just a stair. That should give us a way so that it looks like it's all supported. And we should be good. And I'm thinking in some places we'll mix in some jungle wood so that it has a little bit of a worn feeling, but not much. So it'll only be a little bit of jungle wood, and that's the kind of mix and texture, and I think it should be good. Hopefully, yeah, we'll go like this. This gives us stairs. Well, they're barely stairs. More like ramp, but it works. Oh, speaking of which, we also need to remove these because we won't be using them. That is fine. There we go. Okay. Ah, how are you going? So, at the moment, we're busy doing the platform of the bridge. Just need a little bit more acacia. Then we can finish making it smooth and nice. It should be good. Yeah. So this is going to be heading up towards our castle once it's built. Or the bridge is the start of the castle, I suppose is the more correct term there. And the next thing on our list is going to be handguards, handrails, and somethings. Just leave those behind for now. And for that, we'll be knocking out all of these blocks and figuring out a design for that. But first, I figure it better to be putting these in place so that we're not jumping up and down all of this all the time. Nope. And I figure if we put this in place this way, we don't actually have to worry. And basically, the reason why we're going a big, smooth, long thing like this is so that we can show off that this is a very posh place. Well, it is the King's Palace or the Queen's Palace, or, well, it's the seat of the Imperium. Imperium? Is that what you call an empire? The seat of the empire. There we go. Although Imperium does sound more impressive. But maybe it is an Imperium. Oh. And from there, I think we can have some fun. It's the way I figure it. These bits, oh, the connecty bits, they can be extra fancy. We can have balustrades or something like that on the edges, and we can have some fun with those. So we should be able to swap those out for some smooth sandstone, and I think that should be good. And then I'm thinking that we go through with some sort of pillar design type thing with some torches and stuff so that things don't spawn on here. And then it should be pretty set. And then we have a posh bridge. Why did I make this thing so long? I'm feeling regret about this. There's just this creeping... Like, every so often when I do a build, I'm like, oh yeah, this will be tiny. And then I actually see it in real life and I'm like... How did I make this? Why is this so big? I was just flying around this earlier. Why is this like this? How did I do this? I'm so confused. And it's such a weird feeling because the difference between walking around a build and flying around a build is huge. And it's such a strange feeling going from flying around a building going like, oh, this is nice, this is something that can be whipped up in 2 seconds if, let's say, you've done it in creative mode. And then if you go into survival mode and you're like, oh no, this is so many things you need to do. I'm seeing so much deep slate ore, or so much. What else is kind of annoying to get? No, hey, that's my block. You don't get to have that block. That's mine. Give. That zombie. It's stealing my block. No, you don't get a block either. Oh, this is looking cool. And I think stuff like that, it's always really interesting. And it's half the reasons why I ended up building so big. Because, like, you start building and you're like, oh yeah, 7 blocks wide for a staircase, that's fine. And then it's like, well, what deserves something that's 7 blocks wide? Well, it would obviously need something that's a little bit larger than your average build, right? And then it spirals. It always spirals. You know there's going to be troubles. And then there's regret. But it's okay. I think doing it that way, there's always so much fun involved in doing stuff like that, and it's kind of worth it. Oop. Oop. Okay. I think first we connect up all of these. I think that is a definite first step. Because that means that everything is all good And then we can organize pillars and push things and stuff like that, and also have a snooze. And somehow we've forgotten to do this. Oh well. Boop, boop. There we go. Perfect. Oh, that was close. That could have been very bad. Either way, we want one of those there and then one of those there. Boop, boop, boop. One of those there. I think we forgot a block. There's supposed to be a block there. Okay. Let's just double check that. We absolutely forgot a block. Look at that. There's nothing. No, nada. Okay. This requires being fixed. Other that, I'm pretty sure by the looks of that, that is only a one of those, and then a like that, and then a slab. Yes, okay. I think we should be good. Probably. I think we did that something or other. Maybe. No, we did not do that correctly. Okay. That goes there, and then that gets moved out one more. Okay. Why is it always so much harder to do a pattern after you've stopped doing a pattern? Like, coming back to a pattern always feels so much harder than if you were doing the pattern and you're really entrenched in it. It's like, oh, the pain is real. Okay, that goes there. Then we remove this, replace it with one of these, and we should be good. Done. And nobody will ever know the difference. Wonderful. Okay. Now, like, I kind of think when you're going ahead and doing large scale buildings, it's always so much easier to go ahead and make sure that it's in chunks, because if you do it in chunks, it makes life so much easier. That's why it's one side of the bridge versus the other side of the bridge, and then all sorts of other things, because doing it like that, I think, makes for an easier time with it. Otherwise, if you're looking at it in a one big great hole, it can be kind of overwhelming, and I think that takes away a lot of the fun. Do we have any more sandstone? Yes, we do. This is good. Actually, let's turn the rest of this into sandstone. I think that would make life a whole lot more easier. There we go. Lovely. Wait. Oh, okay. We need more of that. And I think once a project stops being fun, it's sort of a downward spiral, because if it's something that you're doing on your off hours it's or you're doing it as a volunteer thing or anything like that, it's very much something that it's only volunteer. Therefore, you're there of your own choice and nobody's forcing you to do it. Therefore, it's something where you can only... Wait, we didn't drop any coal, did we? Oh, okay. Therefore, it's only your engagement that keeps you there. And if it can't be engaging, then it becomes harder and harder. So if you're not there for duty, like a volunteer position, or for a family thing, or anything like that, it's kind of like, well, then why? And I think that's... Oh no, that's the wrong slot. There we go. Okay, let's just grab that coal out of there and pretend we never put that in. And I think when faced with going ahead and having something that was fun once and is no longer, it can be kind of scary. Like, it might be a favorite video game or something like that. And if it used to be your favorite thing, you know, you sunk thousands of hours into it, and now when you pick it up, you have the memories of this thing being best. You remember playing into the late hours of the night, but now when you pick it up, and you've had a break from it, you're just like, oh, the spark is gone. It's like, oh, well, what do I do now? And I think like there's sometimes only a couple of things to do, really, because you can either find a new way to enjoy it, like learn a new skill in the game, or maybe learn to speedrun it or something like that, or pick up a new game and learn to love that. Because the thing is, the way I see it, the game you love is gone because you're a different person now than the person who picked up that game. That person is gone. They've gone through a few more things, and it's just like, well, a game is something that doesn't change over time unless it's something that requires seasonal battle passes, and then unfortunately that cannot be with you through thick and thin, no matter what. It just can't. Sorry to be the one to bust that bubble. Not unless you like things changing on a regular basis. I'm thinking that we'll change some of these extra ones through here into walls. And I think with that sort of thing, it can be quite like a mixture of daunting and freeing. Be like, oh yeah, well, sometimes things change, sometimes things don't, but it's okay. Yeah, I like that. It's good. We go like that. Okay, I think we're something with this. I think with this, we go like that. So we're still getting the same vibe. We're just opening it up for longer people. I think that's good. Boop, boop, boop. 1, 2, 3. And then over here, I think we'll leave it open. Because I think leaving it open, not open, solid, means that if we want drawbridges or towers, we have the option to do that later on and have some fancy connection. I think that'll be good. Boop. Boop. You know, weirdly enough, this makes me think. I like my corner of the world. It makes, like, this bridge is giving me really retro vibes at the moment. Like, 1.8 vibes, and I'm loving it. Because back then, when Acacia first came out, I was all over having acacia in my builds. I was like, yes, I want all the acacia. And then I discovered that you could have chiseled sandstone. And I was like, oh! Although I don't remember how I got the chiseled sandstone. Maybe I think that was at that time you crafted it by placing 2 slabs on each other. I think that's how you got it. But I loved it. That and I'm trying to remember the other thing. But yeah, I was very much into the chisel, the sandstone and acacia look. I've never really gotten the hate for the block, like the acacia hate. I love this. Yeah, I finally caught up to the fact that you use stone cutters for them in 1 point way too late. I may not pick up that the block has an intended purpose immediately, but I do pick up on it eventually. And I'm quite proud of that fact. That I pick up on it, not that I get to it pretty late. It's the wrong block. Sandstone, chiseled sandstone. Oop. Like, take the smoker for instance. I did not know that was an actual functional block for the longest time. I thought that was just added to the game for decorative purposes. And I was like, oh yeah. And it wasn't until I was at a LAN party and someone was like, oh yeah, put your food in here, cook it. And I was like, wait, what? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, when did they add functionality to this block? Was it with 1 point when? They were like, since it was added? Like, in that whole Are you okay? Do we need to call someone? And I'm like, oh no, I'm fine. If anything, we'd better find a name for that pig. That pig has been there a while. I do worry about that pig. Oh, that looks cool. I'm there for this. Actually, on top of these pillars, if we do a sort of mimicry of these lanterns, just posher, I think that would be a good idea. Because then that echoes back to what's happening in the village. And it helps relate things, which is also good. And it makes sure that things aren't what's the word? Being lost? Wait, why is that one only one? Wait, what? Oh, well, that is not supposed to happen. That goes there, that goes there. There we go. Now it's even. And I think if we go with having the frog lights and acacia on top, then that makes it feel a bit more posh. Or maybe, I think we looked at having the birch and frog light, because these feel, the bamboo with the shroom lights feels very downtown casual. Whereas up here, we're looking at very posh. Actually, another shape we could look at is possibly warped or crimson trapdoors. And I think that might have a good shape for what we're looking at. Okay, I think who? Oh, that one's it. That one's right. Goes there. That goes there. That is an itty bitty step. That looks cool. I like this. Pop that out. Pop that in. She'll be right. Okay. Oh, that looks really cool. Just as a bridge, that looks cool. We can come back later, and I think adding some trapdoors to the side of this will look cool. Actually, do we have the materials? I think bamboo trapdoors will look cool. Nope. And we will also grab... What did I say? We'll try the warped and the crimson trapdoors. as well as bamboo. You know, I don't think I've ever made warp crimson trapdoors, so I'm not even sure these have holes in them. Somehow I am incredibly disappointed, but at the same time, I'm not surprised. That is incredibly disappointing. I don't know what I should have expected. You're an off-brand red. What should I have expected? Even you have more sense as a trapdoor. Look at you. Wait, what color are you again? Let's see this. We have, because I'm thinking we go with the frog light, right? We'll put a frog light here. Grab one of these. Grab one of these. Thank you. Go like that. That looks all formal and serious, and I think that's almost what I'm looking for. Like, looking at that is a vibe that I'm here for. The only thing is, it's quite dark. What's the chair? And the cherry's too pastel. Acacia is the straight bars. And then this is just plain white. But it does have a similar look, which would make it sort of pretty good. And I think... Okay, I think we do a mix between the mangrove and the birch. And if one really stands out better than the other, we'll go with that. I think that's the best way to do it. Boop, boop. Okay. All the trapdoors, please. The frog light and the birch. All the trapdoors. Okay. Do we need anything else? I don't think so. I just realized I don't think I actually need the beacon going. Like, actually going. Which is a pity. Like, on one hand, if you can make a beacon work as a design feature, they're fun to do. But on the other hand, when you can't, it's something that's seen for a very long time and it sticks out like a sore thumb. Do we have any more? Wait, yes we do! Oh, this is good! Because I'm kind of thinking that if we go with the red sandstone, it brings out the color from the orange up. I think that'll be good if we go like this. That is too thick. That is too thick, too chunky, too much. We need a fence. You wait there. Don't worry. Just stay still and everything will be just fine. We may have used most of the planks. Okay, bright side, we have the sticks. We can actually make it work. Although the idea of just having the floating light bulbs just appeals on many levels, but I don't think it fits in with the theme of what's going on in the rest of the place, so it is with great sadness that we do not do this. Do-do-do-do. Oop-a-doo. So we should be able to go like this and at least test it out. Like on one hand, never mind. Okay, I like the combination of this. Like that has a bit of formality to it. It vibes. It has happy vibes, I think. And I have forgotten a thing. That is not a happy vibe. That looks like someone did a temporary patch and then left it be. There we go. Much better. Okay. So I think when necessary, like this one, I'm going to have to skip one because otherwise it's just going to get too crowded, and that is not good. We do not appreciate too crowded light sources. But I do want to see what it looks like if we go birch. Because I think... yeah, there's a... oh... I kind of think birch is better. Just a real pity. I was rooting for that. I was rooting for the mangrove. I was hoping the mangrove would get in. Much pity. Okay. Oop, wrong one. Actually, if we skip this entire first section and then put in the light, I think that would be a better idea. Because then we just don't have to deal with the whole thing. Can we sneak around here and... we got the sneaky skills. Okay. So, I figure we go one section, miss a section, and then put in a light. And that is how we're going to do it. Because if we do it like that, then that gives us good coverage for light, and we don't actually have to worry about there being too many of them. Sneak, please. Yeah, those are right. I like this. Like, they're not too fancy, but they're not too simple. And they also call back to those. We can also fancy them up a little bit later, like putting something on top. Not entirely sure what. Maybe a sign or a flower pot. Actually, putting a flower pot with a flower in it would probably be good. Just for a patch of color. Oh no, don't want that there. And probably putting a little pot of flower in the middle here. Oh, yeah, daylight sensors on the top would be good. Like, these are glowing no matter what, being frog lights. But having a daylight sensor on top would look good. Just got to figure out what the recipe for that one is. I've never made a daylight sensor before. Much squish. Oop. Like, daylight sensors are one of those things that's weirdly decorative. Quartz. Well, we do have a bunch of quartz ores, so we should be okay for that. Because I went way overboard when I was mining for quartz for the fireworks show. Because I didn't want to be caught out and be like, oh yeah, I have everything I need except the quartz. And then get stuck in the nether mining quartz instead of actually doing anything. Okay, let's go grab some, figure out how to make a daylight sensor. Because the idea of being stuck in the nether, mining for quartz, just does not appeal. Okay. Daylight. Oh. Oh. That's really easy. We can make heaps of those. Okay. Let's finish the lamps and then make heaps of those. Yep. One, two. What on earth are you there? Because I think if we manage that, then we should... Yeah, I think we should just be able to break up probably half a stack of quartz ore, and that should get what we need. It was interesting. I was seeing... Oh, now I gotta remember who it was. I was seeing someone's tour through their hardcore world. One of those people who does hardcore. I went and flooded the nether. I went and did this. I went and did this. I went and did that. Things. You know, those spectacle hardcore YouTubers. I was like, are you okay? I'm seeing these chest monsters and you're telling me you're okay with this? And they're just lying around? And this person was like, yeah, I never got a chance to actually sort through these chest monsters or make a sorting system or anything like that. So they just hung around. Because by the time I got a chance to do that, I was making such big builds that there was no chance for me to actually go ahead and oh, was it Sandy? Sand Anderson? Oh, bother. Blue with a smiley face on his hand. That person. And thank you, Sand Diction. And like I was listening to it and I'm like, that doesn't sound great. I guess if you enjoy playing like that, then more power to you. But I'm pretty sure I'd get lost in in just the mess of stuff. Because even as he was showing people around, or doing the world tour, he was finding just random stuff in chests and being like, I didn't know that was there. I'm like, how much materials have you wasted grinding for things when... And I kind of felt really sad, the fact that he was pressured to... on one hand, I guess it could have been pressured to make that kind of thing, but on the other hand, I can also understand that you sort of choose it when you enter that sort of area. Only semi-sort of, because like if people click on it, then you're like, yeah, I make more of this. Okay, it's looking good. Oh, light sensors. But I was super marveled at the very clear cut areas between what is designated for the videos and what weren't, because it was, oh yes, here is the areas for the videos, and then it would be, oh yes, we're coming in through this area, and then bam, suddenly we're in this really badly bombed out hole, and it is not pretty at all. And I don't think I could imagine having a world like... Actually, I just realized I'm probably also not quite... I probably do the same in a different way. I've just realized this because instead of bombing things out, I just build over the top of them. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, that's pot calling the kettle black right there. Never mind. But I was really impressed with his builds, because that was the first video of his I watched, and I was like, oh wow, these are some really impressive builds. Okay, what else was it? It was glass, right? I think it was glass. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad we didn't go fancy, like super fancy on the lights or stuff upstairs on this, because I think between that and the bridge it would have been a bit much. Glass and slabs. Daylight. I hope that's enough. Okay. It does add just that little bit extra. Actually, I don't mind the daylight sensor just sitting there rather than on top. But I'm kind of thinking that instead of putting it there, like having it there would be cool, because if we go does this, okay, that's on moon, that's on sun. I was thinking, if those powered, but I guess frog lights don't carry. Because normally these carry power through them, right? So that would mean if you have a trapdoor, yeah, but since that's not working, it means that frog lights don't carry power. Which is really interesting and useful to know. So now they're just decorative. And a good use of the quartz. Like, on one hand, I'd like to... what's the word? Have functional lights in some places, but I don't think on this bridge is one of those places. Like, I'm not super worried about it. But having them in the castle would be cool. Do. Also, I'm super impressed at how much my redstone knowledge has improved since actually just starting doing this as a semi-serious endeavor. Like, I never knew what this did before, like, a couple of months ago, and now it's like, oh yes, congratulations. It isn't a decorative thing. It's something that you put down to make lights go on and off at a specific time. Well, not just lights, it does other things. You can make it do piston movements and all sorts of other things, but it's really good for light, because then you can have things light up at specific times and turn them on at night or in the day, and it can tell you if you're in the mine, if it's night and day, because like you can have that, and then it can activate, and then it can send a signal going down and stuff like that. And I can't believe I have slept on redstone for 10 years. Like, how could I? This is ridiculous. Okay. I'm thinking that we get some big pots and try them out going up there on the others, the alternating ones. Or maybe a grass block. Or perhaps some leaves in hedge boxes. English is attempting to run away, but it's all good. We will catch it and we will keep it. If we grab one of those and we grab, I think, actually it would be really cool to have the coral fans, but I think that's another time. Flowers? Oh, actually, the cherries. Morning, Shade. We've been working on the bridge. Boink. Yeah, so right now, what I'm thinking is if we just grab a flower pot, the thought is we can either go with those every second one, like that, which I think brings in the vibe from the walls. Those ones back there with the flower pots unrendered. And what we can do is we can go ahead and put these in there and then put a cherry sapling in them. I think that'll be good. Just adds a little bit of fluffiness without being super big about it. Or on this side, we could go and try out this, where we go, you know what? That's very, very, very brown. I don't like it. It's not happening. Yeah, no, we're going with the pots. That was very, very brown. I don't, no, okay. Pots it is. Just a bit. Like, I kind of think that we could also, we've got a few what are they called? Parts? That we could use, but I'm saving them for a rainy day, so maybe inside the cap. Oh wow, that looks amazing. Like, just adding those compared to that side, it's just like whoosh. Yes, we got it. We know what we're doing today, Ferb. Also, interestingly enough, there's something I've found with the pots is if you put a pot down and then you break it and then you put it back in your inventory. You put it back in your inventory, then basically it gets an MBT tag on it. And you're not actually able to click it, like you're not able to middle click it back up again. It's a pain. One of those, one of those. But then again, I think it's the same for some types of shulker boxes. I've had the same problem with shulker boxes before, so maybe it's in the same situation. Something to do maybe with rotation or something like that. I don't know. It needs people with bigger coding brains than me, I suppose. Yeah. We ignore those two pots. Those two pots don't count, but that's so pretty. Oh. Okay. So what? We need 6. Oh, that's weird. Okay. We gotta have the weirdest render distance things happening. I'm looking at that and it's just like, oh. Aww. Aww. Okay. Pots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be it. That really sucks. I want more render distance. Although seeing the floating blocks like that is really adorable. And figuring out how to do that deliberately would be really cool. I'd be there for that. Rather than having them rest on, I don't know, shulkers or pots or something. Wait, we need to experiment. Can we put these on string and have pretty floating pots of flowers and things like that? Because we now have a finished bridge, which we'll only ever see the pots from the... Oh no, we can see the pots from a reasonable distance over here, but we have a bridge. This looks so cool. This is amazing. Yeah. Okay, so this side is basically going to, we need to figure out what we're doing with there, which is basically going to be on a, what do you call it? An introduction area, a foyer, an open air foyer with an archway, Thank you. I like my bridge. It is a happy bridge. So I figure our next step is we pull out a whole bunch of prismarine and we start designing our general next structure, because thank you. Yes, that's the word. Thank you. And we don't need that. Because basically from here, we're going to be putting in a mob-proof gateway, which will be basically orange carpets over a drop. Just so the villagers don't get in here, because I'm not sure if we'll be able to make it mob-proof. But other than that, we should be fine. And I think what we'll do for the plaza is have it so that we have basically these square towers sticking out like this. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you for reminding me that it was on. And I'll show you it when we get to nighttime too, because it should be right now. Like looking at the distances and things, it should be pretty safe. And we need to fill back in there with granite. In theory, we should have the bridge mob-proof. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This was not the correct way of counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7. 5 and 7. Because what I want to do with the towers and stuff, I want the towers to be square so that they're in direct contrast to the curvy stuff of the ancient materials. Actually, if we block that off, there we go. Now we can have a better look. Wow, that is a vibe. Okay, so I'm seeing some dim spots, but I don't think. Oh, that deserves a screenshot. That looks amazing. Like, it'd be so cool to have the castle built so that it enshrines the moon as it comes up. That would look amazing. Yes. So the Wheaton Empire doesn't build circles. That's... yeah, yeah. So there are... it's built on top of ruins from the ancient civilization that got earthquaked out of existence. That being said, the Wheaton Empire took that and built on top of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And I did, and this is a happy accident, but I love it, and I think we should take absolute advantage of it, because there is no way we shouldn't, because oh my goodness. So I think that changes a few plans, and I think we should put like a shrine or something that catches the moon in the middle, just going this way. Actually, if we mark that out, I think would be a very good idea. Also, tell me if it's getting dark. Actually, I'll turn night vision back on for you guys, because on my screen, I have the brightness on my monitor turned up quite a bit on a regular basis, because low contrast and me just don't work well together. Because, yeah, it comes with glitched eyes. Okay, so now that we know about the sun and the moon and that whole situation, it means that we are reworking our plan, because that is going to be the thing that we build this entire thing around. Because this is basically going to be kind of a... okay, that's good to know. Kind of an important place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one of the things that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to keep it evenly centered. And it's going to need to stay on odds. And what we'll do is we're going to make it so that on one side we have the sun, and on the other side we're going to have the moon. But we will make it so that it's done in a thematic sense. Jump off a... jump off... that one? can see it. I can see it happening. He got the scaffolding for it. Oh my goodness. Although I really should get out my bow for this. Then we can be like, wow. You really think there's some brains in this head? Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my goodness. One, two. Oh, well, funnily enough, I was messing around with it, and where is that under? Sniper jewel, and I have actually done that. I have done the sniper jewel achievement. It is already done. I was bored while waiting for the frogs to hatch. And yeah, I was surprised, but it happened. I was just shooting skeletons. It waited. And well, kapow. Wait, how wide is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Let's go 17. No, this is not a circle. This is not going to be a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, whatever we do, we must not drop. There is something that must be slain. Yeah, so what we're doing is we're making basically, what is it, a hexagon? Octagon? Well, let me just mentally count the size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Octagon. I always get octagons and hexagons mixed up. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, maybe not. Okay, so let me just. So the main thing here is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay. One more of these. Because what's happening is, oop, that goes there. By doing this, it's giving us a very clear area of where we're actually working. Okay. And this is going to be the entire courtyard for where the shrine temple thing is going to be. And it creates immediate flow through for this area coming from the bridge into here. And we'll have room to put a pagoda or something like that for people to stand under or something like that. That is several times too many for saying something like that, but there we go. And we'll have space for water features or anything that we want to add. We could add animals or anything because we'll be able to add. It's a lot of room to work with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so under the structure, there's going to be multiple layers of building. So we're going Oh no. Oh, this is going to be a much larger project of building than probably the rest of the town, which is one of the main reasons why we're doing it in tandem with the rest of the town. And what's going to happen is we're going to have multiple rooms and floors and things like that. And it's going to be the rest of the castle. 1, 2, 3, 4. And originally, before we found out about the sunrise, I was intending that about here was going to be a pillar, and we have the throne room here, but I think having the shrine is a cooler idea. So we will probably move the areas of where things are going to be into different areas, and we will work on that. Yeah. Oh no. We don't do floating structures permanently. Like down there is going to be covered in cliffs, and we're going to have a staircase, although that's going to be flipped around so that it's pointing off into a dockworks district, so that things can do things. Because I'm not fond of just having random floating structures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. Unless it's like obviously floating islands or something like that, because I think those sorts of things get a pass. Or airships or something that looks like it's meant to float. If you're just building a building and going, oh yeah, it's supposed to float. Yes, here's to another 1,000 days of all sorts. I mean, on the right side, the mob farm took, I think, 700 days, so it wasn't all of the 1,000 days. We spent the rest of it building little redstone farms. And the good thing is, with this, we have so much more room to add redstone farms to it. We can have an industrial grade sugarcane farm in this, and bamboo farm. And nobody will ever know. There will be so much room and nobody will ever know. We can hide it in the walls. 1, 2, 3. Speaking of which, all of these walls are going to be a minimum depth of 3 blocks, so we can have designs on each side that will not match each other. Yeah. Well, the thing is, yes, we will bamboozle them. We will make a bamboozler. Because I like the idea of having really posh walls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. And also, I don't know why it's taking me so long to get on the train of actually using farms in Minecraft. But I don't know how I managed before now. Like, I'm still building similar sized buildings, but I was going out and getting the materials by hand. I don't know who hurt me, but apparently I thought this was a good idea. It was not. Like, now I'm looking at this and I'm like, what was wrong with me? Why did I do this to myself? This is just not okay. I don't know why I thought that doing this sort of stuff without farms was a good idea. I mean, look at all the prismarine I get to use nowadays. It's just a building block now. Okay. It's okay, Shade. You can open your mouth up and say everything you want. Just as long as it doesn't dox anyone. Or ping Nightbot. I have a fair idea on what you want to say on this matter. Okay. Okay, so we have a basic outline of the plaza leading into the shrine. So, actually, what I'm... Yes, and it's just my fault that I didn't... I will endeavor to listen faster in the future. One moment. Okay. Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. Yeah, I'm good. Sometimes my lungs just don't like to work. The truth just hit them like a wrecking ball. Okay, so I figure what we do is, so we've got a clearance of 3 blocks for the wall, right? And then we go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got a hallway. And then we have another wall thing. And so therefore, if we make a walkway that goes around this area, that's what makes access to most of the place. And we can actually make this a right angle so that we can add a little alcove in here. So we'll actually head in, leave this as a right angle. Sorry. One. Okay, there we go. So this means that this area is planned as dead space, and we don't need to worry about it immediately or anything like that. And excuse me. I think having another puff on the inhaler is probably a good idea. There we go. Okay. So that goes that way. That goes that way. And we'll be able to make a little shrine rest area, maybe. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Sometimes my lungs are just like, oh yeah, we'll just give up for a moment, but not like in a life and death type way, just in a we're going to inconvenience you type way. So this is wall, that is wall, and then this can lead off into the rest of the castle, and we can figure out. Wait, no, that's not a leap I can make. Regret is instant. Okay. We can also have a doorway, I think about here. So I think what we'll do is it's a long time since you pulled that shade. I really wasn't expecting it. I don't think my asthma was either. And then I think from here. Oh, what if we do mirrored throne rooms? Sort of like one for the king and one for the queen. Because interestingly enough, depending on where you look at things, where was I going with this? Kings and queens don't tend to have the same. Oh, wow. Same division of responsibility. So basically a queen or a feudal lady, their responsibility is more defensive, and a king is more offensively thought of, traditionally speaking. Let's just steal a bed for a moment. Hi, don't mind me. Are you guys all upstairs now? One, two. Well, that's one way to keep them safe. And if we take that and mix that with the idea of having 2 throne rooms, we could actually get something pretty interesting. And mix it in with possibly some interesting iconography and stuff like that in tile floors, because that would make it seem like equals and opposites, and I think that would be really useful. So, and especially if we have the whole rising sun, rising moon thing going on, I think that would work. And if we made it so that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there was basically at some point here the public access was ended. So behind here is the lack of public. You, sir, do not belong. Thank you. And then basically the thrones are at the highest height this goes. So We have access to the throne rooms, which sit... where is this access? Here? From here, and then on the other side, respectively. And then... we are actually able to make it so that as you go down instead of up, which is the more traditional way of doing castles and things, but having the posh beds and things actually on the outside, so servants' quarters deep in the middle, but having very posh beds and things like that on the outside, I think that would be pretty cool. Oh no, not the... I was busy thinking, oh yeah, wow, we made great time on crossing that. But no, we did not. I keep thinking, I should teach myself how to speed bridge. Do I ever learn? No, I do not. Which is kind of more's the pity. Speed bridging always seems so useful. 1, 2, 3. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And that should give us a general good vibe. Oh, we should poke the warden. Oops. Because if we poke the warden, then we get speed. We have the wall for it. Yeah. I've had Swift Sneak recently, and that is something I really miss, having Swift Sneak. Okay, there we go. Now we should be okay on everything connecting. I think. Because I think to get a warden nearby, I think the easiest way would be to find the right terrain. I don't think I've seen the right terrain nearby. The whole eroded cliffs and stuff. So, sorry, the erosion zone between two mountains, because there isn't really any mountainous regions nearby. I mean, actually, Windswept Hills. Yes, this is the 1000 Days Fireworks song. It's called Infinity Beyond and Beyond. I thought it was appropriate. Because, like, I think even though one day this will end, I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. Not unless we do something really silly. And, well, it's me. I wouldn't put it past me to do something really silly. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. So I thought the song was really appropriate, and it's also got the right vibes for how I see you guys and me. Like, it's got that whole raise each other up feeling to it, and that's what I really like to encourage. Although the idea of poking the warden is just sounding so appealing right now. We might even get the silence trim out of it, which would also be a bonus. Because I think the sides have some trail ruins, which I still have not found any trail ruins, which is such a pity. That is the only trim that I think we have not found. Oops. Which would be really cool to do. And the bright side is that the wardens and the fact that the warden is not as scary as piglins. So there is that. And we have gone and done piglin bastion raiding and gotten everything required for that. So there is also that. So we could do it. And Shade, you're just as bad. Okay, so I figured if we go from about here for 3, and we are out yet again. Bother, you're right. You're very right. Okay. So, general thoughts. Let's actually get an aerial view on this so that we can see what we're doing. So the general thought is we have 2 wings of this. Both wings are identical for the most part. Then, in those wings, we're going to have, what are they called? Pillars sticking out that are old civilization. Using the same color palette as that. And I think with that, we can have one pillar that is just sticking out of here. 3 escape. Oh. Wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So this over here, we can have a pillar that is... Wait, we can do this in the sky. Now let's talk things. This is great. I did not know this was a thing. This is amazing. I love it. I love when I learn new things about a game. Okay. I thought that we're not seeing this. I thought this was a mod. This is amazing. Huh? Love it. Okay, so what I'm thinking is this side and this side have identical wings. Then we have a lower section in the back that is low enough that it doesn't interfere with the moon and sun rising. Then we also have the top of a tower that pokes out with a shape of some sort that just cups the moon and sun gently as they rise. So it has that symbolic imagery. Makes sense? I hope it does. Then, on top of that, we start building downwards. Because I figure this is the top height, and in the middle is mostly clear, and on the sides we have arches, towers, something like that. Either way, they're symmetrical, and as we go down, it becomes less symmetrical and builds outwards. But we start on this level and then we build down so that we actually have a shape to build towards. Okay. I keep thinking that's a creeper and it disturbs the living daylights out of me, so I've got to change colors on it. Like, there's just something about prismarine that keeps making me think it's a creeper. It keeps setting off my creeper senses so bad. Okay, so what I figure, this is the wall we want about here. No, I am going, I think in the days in between stream, I'm going to go hunting for deep dark biomes so that hopefully we can find an underground suspiciousness, because I think having one of those would be really, really good at this point. And I think that is too far. Wait, let's just try this out. Because I think the main thing is if we just get the shaping right on one side, we can transfer it over. I think if we do that, then we should be good. That's too far. Here we go. Although I am slightly jealous of Java not Java players, the other ones, Bedrock players. Oh, awesome! Well, I hope the something similar is a good build. Okay. I think that slightly off center. Okay, I think what we'll do is, because this is slightly off center, we'll make the entrance to this deliberately off center. Because if we do that, then it'll be easier, and also it won't create a line of sight going all the way through into the other one. Because then things will get a little bit awkward with building and stuff like that. So if we do it that way, then it makes our lives much easier in the long run. And I think at that, because that's going to be a lot of counting, and I don't really want to sit there and count very carefully for quite some time and ignore you guys. I will leave it at that and say goodbye. And next time we will be working on the castle, or at least the shrine, and have some fun. Oh, framing with the gravity box. No, I won't. Because basically this area is above there, then below won't be taking the same shape. So there will be some areas that will have the same depth, and then some will be wider. So I'll probably be dropping just the occasional one to get a general shape of the place, but I won't be getting the exact walls in place. But yeah, thank you so much for coming. See you next time. Bye.